in a press conference yesterday, and I will say that yesterday for those of you who are under a rock, but the first big thing is ATF wants to will repeal that ATF pistol brace rule from the Biden era. Remember back in 2023 when anyone with a pistol brace suddenly became a felon because you didn't register your braced pistol as a short barrel rifle? That's going away now. So the flip-flop on is a brace legal, is it not legal, is it legal, continues, and who knows what's going to happen if we get a different party in the White House the next time there's a presidential election. But right now, ATF says pistol braces are okay. Another thing that they say is okay, we're back to bump stocks being okay. Well, that just makes everything fall in line with the Garland decision from the Supreme Court when the Supreme Court smacked down the ATF hard back in 2024 and said, no, a bump stock still does not fit your definition of a machine gun as laid out in the National Firearms Act. A bump stock only operates the trigger once with each pull of the trigger. You only fire one round with each operation of the trigger. Just because the gun is moving and doesn't make it a machine gun. The trigger is being operated each time. Yes, it's being operated more quickly, but bump stocks are back. And again, we'll see what happens if the administration changes. These are rules. They're fluid. That's kind of what happens. Another good one is they're going to put an end to this indefinite saving, the indefinite storage of 4473s. So federal firearms licensees had to store their 4473 forms forever. And when they went out of business, the ATF collected them up, put them into a big list, which is a firearms registry, which is illegal and unconstitutional, and they're not supposed to do that. But when FFLs went out of business, or go out of business now, the ATF takes their 4473s because FFLs had to keep them forever. So they're going to revise that to either 20 or 30 years. We're going to see how that goes because like I said, I still don't always trust everything that any government agency says, oh, don't worry, it's going to be good for you. But the indefinite retention of 4473s for FFL holders, I think that is a good thing to make that go away. They don't need to keep that stuff forever. Now, on the flip side of that, they're saying, well, now we can use electronic records, electronic 4473s, whereas everything else had to be printed out on paper and kept that way. And, oh yeah, we're using 20th century technology. We're already 25 years into the 21st century. And we're letting these FFL dealers keep electronic records. Sounds like a good thing. Sounds like it makes life easier. But who has access to those electronic records? Can they be hacked? Can people get into them? Will it make that easier for the government to gather up electronic records and to make a firearms registry? So jury's still out on that one. That's kind of a, wait a minute, yeah, it makes life easier for some people, but in the long run, is it going to turn this into a big, huge list, a tremendous digital firearms registry? And that's something we need to keep an eye on whenever we're dealing with any government agency, especially with the ATF. And now finally, they say they're going to give a real definition of what a straw purchase is. Remember, you can't make straw purchases. You cannot buy a gun for somebody who can't legally possess a firearm. And so they don't want people who have not been convicted of felonies going and buying guns for convicted felons, buying guns and giving them to convicted felons. But there has been no clear definition of what a straw purchase is. And that left some people worried, and in some states trying to enforce this idea that even if you bought a gun as a gift, that could be considered a straw purchase, and you were going to get in trouble for that. So, it has not yet been revealed, and I couldn't find it, what the new definition of a straw purchase will be, but that was one of the really big elements that I took away from this 34-point list that was released by the ATF. during their press conference when they said, yep, we're making big changes to the firearms rules. And in many cases, yes, they're doing away with a lot of the real garbage that the previous administration had put in place, and even previous administrations before that, because there were some really crazy rules out there, really difficult to follow rules, and commendable that the current Department of Justice is trying to clear up some of this stuff, try to make life easier for gun owners. That's what they say they're trying to do. But again, I'm going to say we need to keep watching these guys. Government officials take more power than they should be given. Pistol braces are legal again. Bump stocks are legal again. But digital records, how can they be misused? Can they be hacked? Can somebody else get access to those digital records? Will it be used as a firearms registry? Lots of questions remain out there, but it's a good step in the right direction that they're trying to do some good stuff for gun owners. And again, let's keep watching them.